Greetings, friends, and welcome back to the 3 Minute Horror Show. My name is Ben, your host, and I love horror movies. If you've been here before, you already know the drill. Welcome back. If you're new here, though, the way these videos work is as follows. I give a little plot synopsis. I give a little commentary. I give the movie a rating, and hopefully I can make you laugh along the way. And remember, I watch the bad movies so that you don't have to. You're welcome. Today I'll be reviewing the movie 100 Tears from 2007. This movie is centered around a serial killer clown named Gertie who carries a very large meat cleaver, and the two reporters who are determined to catch him. This movie was directed by underground gore effects legend Marcus Koch, and I have a special treat for you. I interviewed him over Zoom recently, and in place of my commentary in between the movie clips, I'll be putting in some content from that interview. The full interview will be released as its own video later. This is very exciting. I tried really hard not to fanboy out. It was crazy. Content warning. If you don't like clowns, you're not going to do well with this video. Go ahead, click on one of my other videos instead. I won't be mad. You do what you gotta do. This movie can be streamed here in Canada on Tubi and Midnight Pulp. I've never heard of that service. Send in the clowns. A very large lad dressed as a clown with a huge meat cleaver cleaves the meat of hordes of random people. This clown seems to be the strongest person in the world, swinging the world's sharpest cleaver. Apparently he's been doing this for quite some time, surprisingly leaving very little evidence behind, despite the fact that he's not seeming to be very careful in his absolute carnage. A pair of tabloid reporters, one of them is the writer of the movie Joe Davison, decide that they're tired of writing about aliens and conspiracy theories and crap, and that they'd rather write about real stuff, like the teardrop killer. The teardrop killer absolutely destroys his victims and leaves a teardrop mark in blood at his crime scene. Can you give us some background on this project? How did it get started?
Okay, so when Joe Davis and I had been working together on a couple other features that, he produced and act and I was doing effects on. And I was moving out of my apartment and he was looking for a new house and a roommate. And so we just hey, we've been working together. Why don't we let's move in? And I was trying to get my film Baby Doll off the ground, and he's trying to get his film As Night Falls, off the ground. And so we're just, trying to hustle and find, funding. And I get to talking to Elmar Berger, who's been my producer on 100 Tears and Fell and Beyond Horror, our documentary. And he said, well, I have some money and, would you make a really gory film? It could be whatever you want. And I kind of said low key, I was like, could I make a killer clown film? Because I really want to do that. And he was hesitant at first, but he's like, okay, but make sure it's really gory. And I'm like, I got you.
Despite the fact that we never see the dude draw a teardrop, the clown is the teardrop killer. We see him murk an entire halfway house full of people with acting skills of various degrees, but we also get some representation for people with disabilities, which is cool. When he's done, the reporters, Mark and Jennifer, show up and bribe one of the useless cops on the scene of the slaughter in order to take some photos of the crime scene. They immediately find stuff the cops missed, including a whole-ass living girl who witnessed the killings. She tells them the killer was a clown, and that's that.
So
Can you tell us about some of your favorite kills in that movie and how you accomplished them without giving away any of your trade secrets?
Oh yeah. Oh, well, I don't think I have any trade secrets per se. But one of my favorites, and it was the easiest to do, just because we had a bunch of extras in the opening kill sequence. So,
Yep.
some of them we had planned and I had props made for them. The guy sitting down watching TV and he gets his head split in
Yep.
half.
Right out of the Guar playbook, yeah.
Yeah. So I had his head sculpted and molded and cast in silicone, and then I had the head of Jory that gets stomped when she falls to the ground and he stomps on her head and it splatters. Those I had the girl legs when she's pushed down the stairs or decapitated. So there's certain things I had made, but then we had other extras that we didn't know what we were going to do, so I was kind of making them up on the spot. I wanted to do, because there was big white walls, I wanted to kind of do something similar to Tenebrae, where there's the big red blood spray.
Yeah.
But it was a simple gag. We just had him dodge out of the way, like Gertie was like cutting him in the back and then just had everything hooked up. So as he went forward, it just sprayed the wall in a fountain. So there were simple things like that. But then the one, like I did some gore on her stomach. Oh, it was the girl being chased down the hallway into the
Yeah.
bathroom,
Yeah.
and then Gertie like guts her.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, in my head, like, we'll get the shot of the knife going across her stomach. We'll cut. I'll put a slit stomach, a prosthetic on, make it up. It's Eyecatcher. It's all gelatin buildup. Do a second take where the knife cuts through, and then I cut from clean stomach to bloody stomach as the knife's passing by, cut to like the corner of the room where blood splats, and then cut to the floor, and she just took a bucket of guts and just dumped them down and slid into it. And it's like, but it's the timing, everything, like it's so I don't know, it worked.
It looks good.
It worked way better than I thought it would.
The circus is in town, so the reporters decide to question the carnies. Their investigation uncovers a clown named Gertie, who is framed for a crime he didn't commit, and the brutal revenge plot the other carnies perpetrated against him. Meanwhile, in another area of town, a young woman also appears to be killing men in a similarly brutal fashion, and she is a straight Harley Quinn ripoff, complete with sledgehammer. Will the reporters live to stop the clowns? But all in all, 100 tears. Good experience for you?
Yeah, really good experience. The thing that, of course, people always ask me like my thoughts on the Terrifier films,
Okay, yeah.
like, oh, are you mad they like stole your thunder? And I'm like, well, I don't feel that way, just because I love the Terrifier films too. Like, I love killer clown films. I've been collecting killer clown films since before Terrifier. We made 100 Tears before Terrifier like was even a short film.
In my opinion, this movie works best as a special effects delivery system. The kills are super gnarly and extraordinarily well done. We're talking top tier stuff here. The story does its job. The acting performances on the parts of the main cast are good, and the extras that were hired to fill in the rest of the cast all did a fine job. There was very little Home Depot acting here. Overall, I rate this movie 7 out of 10, but the gore effects themselves get a solid 10 out of 10. I'd like to thank Marcus Koch again for appearing on my small YouTube channel. I'm a tiny little YouTuber, and he's an indie gore wizard who's been on the scene for the past 30 years. He's an awesome guy. It was great talking to him, and please look forward to the full interview on my channel soon. Who knows, maybe I can do this type of thing again. As always, a link to my letterbox will appear in the video's description. Please leave me a like, comment, and subscribe, as it really does boost my engagement and it helps my channel grow. Smell you later, nerds!
Maybe some people are born like bad apples,